Hello, this is Dr. Young, and I'm going to go over your week 3 assignments. For week 3, well, let me go module. I don't know why I'm over there. Okay. I don't know why I'm having a little bit of lag in my laptop. It's like not as fast as my finger today, so I apologize for that. All right, we got a discussion and an assignment this week. For this week, we're going to talk about Kaizen and how it's used in lean management. So we're going to focus on that. And I don't really care what industry you want to talk about. I mean, if you want to talk about a manufacturing example, if you don't, you want to talk about a different example in a different area of business, that's fine too, because this is lean management, not lean manufacturing. And even though it was developed in a manufacturing environment, it can be applied to other areas of the business, so that's fine. It's a very kind of an open question. Just tell me how it's used, what it... just define it and tell me how it's carried out. And like I said, any type of business is fine. If you haven't got your text, let me know. I know there's a lot of catching up to do. I'm hoping to get caught up by week 3, at the end of week 3 this week. I'm sorry about all that. I'm really just being lenient with a submission, but I'm trying to get everybody back on track, and hopefully when we start next week, everyone's caught up with their reading and submitted all their work. If you can't, let me know if there's something holding you up, if it's still the book. But that's my goal, so we can just kind of move through together. And it's I know it's been kind of rough, but I'm not. Nobody's getting their grades, dinged for that, because that's just, the hiccup. This is a new course. It's a brand new course. So I expect that, things happen and you got to get everything worked out, and then it starts to run more smoothly, as the term, hopefully the next term. But anyway, I just want to thank you all for your patience. Okay, I hope you like the course so far. I've noticed, it's very interesting if you, on the discussions to talk about some of these things, because there's some excellent points being brought up. And this is a course about lean, and it's always going to be a very positive course about it. But you know what? There's some things people don't like about it, and I'm all about debate and discussion about it, and there's a pros to cons to everything. And when you go into a situation, you want to have your eyes wide open. You want to know all the good and all the bad of it, and you make a decision based on that. So I think it's a great, you want to have that kind of attitude, because you want to look at all sides of an issue or a process or whatever it is. So for week 3, we have a 1-page paper. It's going to ask you, or this question asks you, what is batch and flow? That's covered in your text. But how can waste be eliminated by changing these methods of manufacturing? Because batch and flow is a way of manufacturing. So we're going to talk about eliminating the waste by changing methods. And then we're going to talk about how training is affected by lean. So if a company is coming, okay, we're going to do lean, we're going to change to lean, which, I've already discussed how a lot of companies do that and then they don't last. Or they think it's just, hey, we're going to do these projects and make it more efficient, and then we're going to go back to the way we used to do things. But then there are some companies that have made the transformation and have stuck with it and have seen benefits from it. It's one of those things that takes a lot of patience and it's not easy. It's a very difficult transition. But how is training affected by that transition? Then you're going to take, excuse me, I'm going to cough in a second. We've been really sick over here, so if I cough a little during this lecture, I might say this all term, honestly. I live in the allergy capital of the United States. If you Google Louisville, Kentucky and allergies, you'll understand what I'm saying. So anyway, pardon me. So consider a process in your job or life. It could be any kind of process. It doesn't matter. It could be very when we think of we think of, oh my gosh, a lean transformation in a big giant company, and there's so many changes in every area. But you can just laser focus on a process, one process in your job or in your personal life. Just one. It could be a small thing, but something you could use Kaizen to improve. And it can be a small incremental improvement. It could be a big improvement, but just think this through and then give me an example. And just apply the Kaizen principles to any process that you might have. And that's really all. It just has to be a page in an APA format. So if you have any questions or concerns about this week, or honestly anything so far, let me know. And if you have any comments about the class, feel free to email me too about it. This is a work in process, process, I have process on the brain, progress. And, there'll be changes, there'll be modifications, there'll be improvements. I'm just going to apply lean to this class constantly and practice what I preach. So, there will be, any kind of, if you feel like something's missing, if you feel like, any positive or negative comments, really constructive criticism is what I would consider. That's fine too. Because when you start, you develop a class, you're always trying to figure out the best way to reach students. And that takes many methods. There's many learning styles. And I completely understand that. And sometimes somebody comes up with something, a suggestion to me that's out of the box, but I find it very interesting, and I'll try it in class. So anyway, thanks for listening. We're gonna get all caught up, and everyone's gonna get on the same page, hopefully this week. But again, if you run into trouble, if you still haven't got your text, you haven't been able to catch up, please let me know. Just email me. Thanks again. Have a good evening.